Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So not a guru. It's morning. I just woke up like an hour ago or so, and we just had breakfast. And I thought, what would be some interesting, what would be an interesting video that I could record today. So today I want to share with you guys something that I haven't shared with you guys before. It's about my personal experience through the NACA process. I know that I've compared the traditional versus the NACA process, like that experience, but I wanted to share just how everything went through with NACA, like what I went through, if there was some hard times, if there was some good times, everything, the good and the bad. Before I do that, I'm gonna go ahead and do my hair and makeup here in just a second. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so. It will mean the world to me if you subscribe and turn on your alert notification. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this beauty face on, and then we'll move on to the topic of this video. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I've done my makeup and my hair, and I'm ready to go. So as you've seen in the description and on the title, I am going to be reviewing my experience with NACA. I'm going to be doing a whole review, the good and the bad, everything that I went through. On my previous video you've seen, and on TikTok, if you follow me there, you know that I always compare the traditional bank and the NACA bank. I mean the NACA lending process, but I've never really just talked about my experience with the NACA program. Hey kitty, oh look kitty, say hi kitty, hi kitty, hi kitty, hi. Okay, just a quick disclaimer, I don't work for NACA. I am not a realtor. I am not a lender or a broker or anything like that. I'm just a homeowner that went through the process of home buying, and I just want to share with you guys and tell you what I know and my tips and tricks so you guys can do them too. And things that might have benefited me might also benefit you. It might not benefit you. It might not be for you. Maybe you make a lot of money. And this is something that is like, but this is just what I used, and hope you guys, hope you guys find this information useful. So like I've mentioned before, I started the NACA process about May 2018. I had been almost a year before that with the traditional bank trying to qualify that way. You guys already know that story. I'm not going to bore you with that. But I did go to a workshop in person in May 2018. I heard, wonderful things, that everything, it was kind of like hearing everything that you've always wanted to hear. That's what basically it was. And whenever I left that day, I remember just thinking, I am going to have a house. Yes, I'm going to be able to do it. Finally, this is it. I'm going to work hard to do it. After that, I did have my first intake session, which was like about 4 weeks away. It was very separated from the time that I did my workshop. Everything was smooth after that. No worries. I was prepared. I had all my documents. It was similar to the process and the questions that they would ask me on the previous times, because before that I did try to apply like 4 or 5 times with other lenders. So I already came with a lot of knowledge of the home buying process because of that. So the things that the NACA program would ask me were very similar questions. Everything there was smooth. When I went to my first session, my counselor was very informative. They did give me an action plan that I can view and kind of like see where I'm at and the things that I need to work on. Because keep in mind, I did not have the best credit. I did not have the best credit history because they don't care about credit score. So after my counselor gave me my action plan, I could kind of like see the skeleton of all of my issues of why I'm not getting approved for a loan, which nobody else, that's something that I really liked. No other lender that I went through before that could tell me why I couldn't get approved. So that's something that I really loved about the NACA program, that they tell you these are the things that you need to work on, these are the things that you're not getting qualified right now, but if you fix them and you do these things, you will get approved for sure, soon. So when I first went to my first intake session, I I had all my paperwork ready, but what I did not have was my registration to vote was not current. So because of that, it really sucked. It was delayed. I had to assist or make another appointment for another session with the counselor. And the thing is that their appointments are very separate from one to another. I don't know what's the cause of that. I don't know if it's because a lot of people are trying to apply, or maybe they don't have a lot of counselors. Maybe it's a job that's high in demand and there's not a lot of people doing it. Not sure really what the deal is there. So I really didn't mind that my appointments were too separate, because I really wanted to make sure that it was gonna work. So after my second intake session, I was able to have all the things that I needed. Everything was ready for my application to get submitted. After a few weeks after that, I got a letter or an email, I think, I'm not sure, or I think my counselor might have called me over the phone telling me that I was approved in about 2 appointments, and then after that I was approved. So yeah, so it took me so I was really excited because it had gotten the pre-approved letter very quicker for me than how it was with the traditional banks, right? After I got the pre-approval letter, I was very excited and went house searching. I had been house searching before that, with my realtor, but we had definitely found a house, and it was this house. So we had found this house. We made a bid. The seller, we had no issues with the seller. I mean, I don't know if it's because in Texas, but I do hear that there's a lot of people complaining or saying that don't go with the NACA program because a lot of sellers know about it and have the bad rep about it, and that was not my case. That did not happen. My seller was once we submitted our offer, we gave them full list price and just asked $5,000 in closing costs. That it was a solid deal. They called us back that same night and told us that we had the house. But here's where it gets complicated. This is where I had some issues within the program. After I got my bid accepted, my order and everything, I initially was approved for $800 as my monthly payment. But this house, after I saw it, it was gonna be a little bit more. It was gonna be about $1,000, I think. I had calculated about $1,000 as a monthly payment. That's including my mortgage, my taxes, and my insurance and HOA fees. So I went back to my lender and to talk to my counselor and let them know that if it was possible that I could increase the monthly payment. All the paperwork had already been done for $800 a month. But that's where I had a problem. If you are in the program and in the process, please make sure you get the maximum amount. That's my recommendation. The maximum amount that you can get, and then if you get if you find a house that it's lower, then that's good. This is where it gets complicated. I don't know what the deal is. But after the counselor, with my counselor, communication was fast. Whenever they asked me something, I turned it in. He replied back that he got it. It was going smooth. But the process after you go into the next step where you only speak with the underwriters and stuff like that. I forgot what that department is called, but it's the next step, and you don't have communication with your counselor anymore because his job is done. He's moving on to other members that are coming in. The communication with the loan officer was so hard. It was so hard. I could not whenever I wanted to check status and stuff like that, there was nobody I would like send messages and emails and message through my portal and everything like that, and it was just a very hard part. There was like literally zero, like almost no communication. Good thing about it was that my counselor kind of like helped me. He would be like, hey, she's trying to reach you guys. What is it that you need? What is it that she is needing? Because closing is coming. Other than that, I'm gonna say that was the hardest part, just going back and forth and me turning in things like 3 times and them not saying that it was, then coming back and saying that no, what it was. And they're really not clear. The lending officers weren't clear to me on what exactly the issue was. They just kept saying like a statement and saying, they would resubmit the application. The application came back 3 times as denied because there were some items that needed to be corrected. So it wasn't until my realtor and my NACA counselor stepped in for me and said, okay, what is it that you guys need, because we're just going around and this same topic, it's came back 3 times as like declined, right? So after they said this is what she needs, it was so easy. All they needed was, there was an issue with I'm gonna tell you guys so you guys don't run through this, but my husband, what he would do was pull money from the ATM, and then I would grab that money from the ATM and go deposit it in my account. That was like a big no-no. That money, that I think it was like about $5,000 that we could not that they did not accept. They couldn't accept those $5,000 that they showed in my bank from ATM and just being deposited. The NACA program is really strict, and the lender was very strict. The loan officer was very strict in saying that you need to show that there is a trace. So if you're doing the process right now, do not pull money from the ATM at all. Do not deposit money through an ATM at all. If you are going to withdraw from one account to another, do a checking to checking transfer, or do quick pay, or do a check. Like if it's from a family member, make sure that it has a check. It just needs to be traced. It cannot just be someone that hands you off money and you go deposit it, because then the lender won't have a way to trace that money, like where it came from. It will be like suspicious money. So what we did, my husband, just grabbed from his paychecks and stuff like that, from money that we were already saving. So we're like, okay, disregard those $5,000 we're not going to use, and please use this one. So my husband, he did a quick pay, where he quick paid me several times from his account to my account, where it showed that there was a trace, and that fixed it. So because of that delayed my closing for two extra more weeks, like 2.5 more weeks. We're supposed to close in 45 days, and we didn't close until 60 days. But those are one of the issues that I ran into, that I could not get a straight answer from the lending office department. It was very, very hard to get a hold of somebody there, just for them to try and explain why an item kept failing 3 times. I still strongly believe that it's a very good program, and if you guys listen to my advice of like what to do, and I'm using me myself as the example. So by you having these things in order, you'll be very successful in the NACA program. Currently, right now, I'm excited to say that I have my dad, hoping to make him a homeowner in the next few months, but he's actually in the process, and I still recommend the program to everybody, because I still think it's a great program. No matter what I've said, if I was to score it overall, I would definitely give it like an 8 out of 10. Those 2 points that I'm subtracting, it's mainly because of the lending department. I have no idea what's going on in that office. So if you are a NACA employee and you're watching this video, yeah, please let us know what's going on with that section. A lot of people that comment on my videos about, is it true that they delay on the closing and stuff like that? Yes, there are some cases that get delayed. In my case, it did get delayed, but because of what I just explained, I did increase my monthly payment from $800 to $1,000, and then also I was accepting and depositing money to my account that had no trace. And after all of that was said, I did get to close, and like after that, in the next 5 days, it did take like 5 days. Christmas was also in the way, New Year's was also in the way, which caused my delay as well. But at the end, the program was successful. I was able to get my house faster anyways than if I would have gone the traditional way. Oh, before I forget, some of you guys asked if I had any delay in them, you know, on my house. No, the hand program, which is the department that you go after you get approved and everything, they were good. You know, I didn't have any issues with them at all. My house did have some repairs that they demanded that they had to be done, like the AC had to be done, and I think that was pretty much it. Oh, and I did have like termites and a piece of wood outside in my backyard, so I did have to have a someone come in, you know, pest control, and take care of that. Overall, when I got to sign the papers and everything, I was so excited to sign for the house and get the keys of my house. I ended up getting my house for 1% interest rate. After everything was done, my $24,000 that I had saved were able to buy down the interest rate, and also the rest went towards my principal reduction. So from the house going from $186,000, it went to $175,000, and my interest rate at 1%. You guys, overall, like I said, NACA is still a wonderful program. I still keep recommending it, even though I did have some hiccups along the way. Overall, I still prefer that way than the traditional way. So I hope you guys like this video, and like I said before, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I appreciate it if you guys become part of the gang. Subscribe to my channel, hit the alert notification so you can be aware of whenever I post another video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.